An official good morning to everyone. Welcome to the 2025 information session for our tax workshops. For those of you that I haven't met yet, my name is Lisa Patterson. I am the program manager for this program, and I am really delighted today to see that so many of you have joined us for this information session. Our purpose for today's session is to give you some more information about our program and the offerings that we have for this season. Thank you for those of you that answered my question. If you could visit any national park, which one would you visit and why? My family enjoys going to the national parks. And so I really enjoyed, I saw some of you put Glacier, some of you put Yosemite, I have Grand Canyon. An unusual one was the Guadalupe National Park. That's actually was one of my favorites when I lived in El Paso. We always love to go to McKittrick Canyon in October and see the leaves change. And so that one is not as well known, but it's still a beautiful park. And the last park that my family and I went to, we went to the Grand Tetons and Yellowstone this past summer. And so the reason why I asked you to share with me what national park would you like to visit and why is because I wanted it to frame our conversation today. If you look at the picture on your screen, you could see a person looking at a map trying to decide the journey where they want to go. And that's exactly what I thought about for this session today. When we went to a national park, we only had a limited time. And so we really had to prioritize what sites we would see, when we would go, and how we would get there. And so that's what I hope to accomplish today with our session, is to give you a map, a journey of where we plan to go as a program for our 2025 season. Okay, let's see, sorry, my thing doesn't want to advance. Okay, there we go. So for interaction for today, I'm going to ask you to use the chat box when you answer a question that is posed by the presenter. And you've already done that. Just make sure that when you answer in the chat box that you set that little blue bar for everyone so that everyone can see your responses. Now, as I go through the presentation, I know that you will have questions. So as you have those questions, I'm going to ask you to look for that Q&A section on your menu bar and to put your questions in the Q&A section so that I can address them. So one of the things that I always talk about when we have our workshops are our core values. Our core values are people, programs, and partnerships. You are the people that we serve, and I was so glad to meet many of you last season when we had our in-person workshops, but I also love hearing from you in emails and on phone calls. You are the reason why we do what we do. Our programs are designed with you in mind, and that we want to make them learner-centered so that you have your needs met as a professional. And also, the last thing on your core values are partnerships. Our team partners together to bring you a quality program. And we also partner within AgriLife Extension and also outside AgriLife Extension. And our mission, it says Texas A&M AgriLife Extension tax workshops provide learner-focused sessions for tax practitioners so that they can benefit professionally and better serve the community. So we want to do what we can to support you as professionals so that you can better serve the community. So in the chat, if you could help me out, I'd like to know more about you as an audience. I'd like you to put 0 if you've never attended one of our workshops, 1 if you attended last year, or 2, you've attended in the past but did not come in 2024. So I'm going to ask you to put one of those numbers in the chat just so I get a sense of who my audience is today. So for those of you that put 1, thank you so much for coming back again this year. You saw our program from last year, and I know you're excited to see what we will do for this year. For those of you that haven't been in a while, welcome back. We're so glad to have you as well. And for those of you that have never attended, I saw a few of those Welcome to our program. We are here to support you. So our learning objectives for this information session are to introduce our team members, explain how our program aligns to our data-driven goals, to provide an overview of our registration process, and to answer participant questions. So in the chat, if you could tell me, what would you like to learn more about? During this session, what are you hoping to learn more about our program? And I'll take a moment and wait to see if you have a response for that. Yes, I'm already seeing about webinars, the One Big Beautiful Bill, what workshops are being offered to learn more about our presenters. Yes, okay. Thank you for that feedback. That helps us to know how to serve you better. So right now, I would like to take time to introduce our team. Our team were new last year. All three of them came on board last year. And what's exciting about that is I call them my dream team because they share the same vision that I have for our program. And they work really hard to constantly revise what they're doing to meet your needs. And so I'm looking forward to working with them this year as we build on their education, their experience, and the strengths that they've learned from last year for our program this year. I've asked each one of them to join us to tell them a little bit, tell you more about their background, and then they can mention what workshops that they're teaching, and we'll come back to that content later. I'm going to ask them to present in order from left to right. So we'll begin with Catherine, and then Herb, and then finally Scott. Catherine, you may begin.
Hi, my name is Catherine Osment. I apologize for the poor video quality. I'm actually at the IRS tax conference in New Orleans right now. I earned my accounting degree from the University of Houston, Victoria, many decades ago, and have been in private practice for about 15 years now. I have a location in Victoria, Texas, and a location in Edna, Texas. The workshops that I'm going to be teaching this year is the general workshop and the agriculture tax issues workshop. Lisa, did you want me to say anything else?
Okay, so when you're ready to pass on to the next presenter, just say and introduce the next presenter, and then we'll know that you're ready.
Okay, perfect. Herb, take it away.
Just got to make sure I'm not on mute. My name is Herb Wiebe. I am an enrolled agent and a certified financial planner. I've been an enrolled agent since 2016 and earned my certified financial planning credentials in 2019. I do about 400 tax returns a year, with probably about 25% of those being business returns. And this year, I'm going to be teaching this small business workshop, which is in lieu of advanced. We used to call it advanced workshop, and we might call that again next year. But this year, the focus is going to be on small business taxes. So we're going to just call it the small business workshop. And I'm going to be teaching that with Scott, who is up next.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Scott Youngblood. I am a CPA and an attorney. My office is located in Pearland, Texas, which is basically Houston, just south of Houston. I've been a CPA for well over 35 years, and I've been an attorney for over 25 years. So I've been around a little while. I'm also a professor at the University of Houston Clear Lake branch. And So I do that. Plus, I have my own practice where I do tax returns as a CPA. We do bookkeeping as a CPA, and I also do tax litigation as an attorney. And then I set up companies, advise people on how to set up companies, and do a lot of estate planning, probate work, wills, those kinds of things. Um, I'm going to be teaching a few seminars. The first one will be I'll be going over the Form 1065 for partnerships and 1120S for S corporations. It's kind of a line by line detail on how to do the tax returns. And then I'll be with Catherine doing oh, I'm sorry, I skipped one. I'm also going to be doing the 1040 one. There would be a separate seminar doing Form 1040, going through how to fill that out. And then I'll be doing with Catherine the general tax seminar, going over various subjects, and also with Herb with the small business tax seminar. And the one thing that we're going to cover in all of these is the big beautiful bill. We're still I'm still working on updating everything for that because there was a lot to that bill. I think you guys all know it was about 900 pages. So been trying to update all the information to include the big beautiful bill. So Lisa, back to you.
Thank you, team. I really appreciate that you are here today and that our participants get a chance to get to know you a little bit. So now that we've introduced our team, I'm going to talk for a moment about our data-driven goals. And I call them data-driven goals because we look at the program as a whole. We look at the demographic data, when you've been attending, who's been attending, and we also look at participant feedback. We take every feedback that you provide very seriously. We look at the conversations that we've had, either through phone calls, emails, in person. We look at the evaluations that you do, both for our presenters and for our program. And we also look at the marketing survey. And based on those things, we came up with these data-driven goals. So the first one that we have is to build community. Number 2, offer needs-based workshops. 3, deliver purposeful presentations. 4, monitor program effectiveness. And 5, marketing. So I'm going to walk us through these goals so that you can see what each of these mean. So goal number 1 is to build community. And so I've tried to do this through email. When you look at those emails, I not only give you program updates, sometimes I give you tax updates or resources. A second way that we do this is through our website. If you go to our website, there is a resources tab. I've highlighted it for you here in red. You can find articles or links to other websites that might be of help to you. I've also added on the website an announcements section so that you could see the latest thing happening in our program. Again, that's highlighted for you in red. Social media. This is something that we've started new just recently with LinkedIn and Facebook. We used YouTube last year to get our videos out, but now we're trying to expand to really communicate things through social media as well. Last year, we did networking lunches, and that was a great opportunity to celebrate successes and to share resources. So if you're coming to one of our in-person workshops, you will have lunch provided so that we can have a networking opportunity. And finally, if you are in person, we are providing block hotels so that you have a place at a reduced rate to stay. So goal 1 was build community. Goal 2 is to offer needs-based workshops. And so as my presenters have already mentioned, we offer 6 different types of workshops this season. We have the general income tax workshop, the small business tax workshop, which is our advanced workshop, agricultural tax issues, and how to complete IRS forms 1040, 1065, and 1120S. And as Scott already mentioned, those are 3 different webinars that we will be offering. So for the general income tax and small business tax, These will be offered in person in Dallas and Houston, and webinar both in November and December. For our agricultural tax issues workshops, we have one in person in Victoria and one webinar, and both of these occur in December. And then how to complete the IRS forms, 3 webinars, all offered in October. So we partner with the Land Grant University for the curriculum for some of our workshops. So for both the general income tax workshop and agricultural tax issues workshops, that is from the Land Grant University. And for those of you who may not be familiar, that is a team of professionals from all over the United States who come together to write the curriculum so that you have the latest tax information. And so for the small tax business workshop, we are using J.K. Lasser's Small Business Taxes book and as an anchor, but then Herb and Scott are working on some case studies, some different things, very hands-on application for the small business tax workshop. How to complete IRS forms. Again, like I've mentioned, there's 3 different webinars being offered for that, and we are providing a handout. And as you might notice, in response to the feedback that we've received from you, we will be providing the PowerPoints for all of our presentations. Finally, on this page, you'll notice that there's an optional purchase. Most of you who've been with our program have seen this, but if you're new to our program, we do offer at a reduced price for people who are registering for our program to purchase the Checkpoint Federal Tax Handbook. Now, I know, and Scott's already mentioned this, but I know it's already on your minds. What about the One Big Beautiful Bill? And so for your information, both the general income tax and the small business tax workshops include a 3-hour tax update. So part of this 3-hour tax update is the One Big Beautiful Bill. So you'll notice I wrote on the screen, general income tax workshop will have the most comprehensive coverage. Think breadth. Whereas the small business tax workshop will focus more on the application of the One Big Beautiful Bill to small business taxes. Think depth. So if that helps you to frame what would be of most value to you, it will be addressed in both workshops, but at different levels. So goal number 3 is to develop purposeful presentations. And so we've talked a little bit about curriculum development, both from the land grant, but also what my team does to give you a learner-centered curriculum. We follow a learning rubric. My background is in education, and so I really work with my team to provide learning, not just sit and get instruction, but something that you can walk away with and use immediately. And so that's why we have interactive teaching strategies, peer coaching, and co-teaching, because we want to provide the best value program for you. So goal 3 was deliver purposeful presentations. Goal 4 is to monitor program effectiveness. And so we monitor by conversations, like in person, phone, email, questions that you ask. That helps us to know how to better serve you. For our in-person workshops, we do interactive polling questions. You'll notice there on the screen, we have answer cards. We also use QR codes for those who are tech savvy, but it's an opportunity for us to get feedback on how well you're learning during the course of a workshop. And then if you're in a webinar, of course, we have polling questions as part of our accountability. When we have a workshop, I have a daily debrief with our presenters. We take a few minutes after every day of a workshop to say what went well, what things do we need to work on, and what resources do they need so that we can continually refine the program that you receive. We ask our participants to do 2 different types of evaluation. We have a presenter evaluation so that each presenter can see how well they're meeting the learning rubric. But we also have a workshop evaluation so that we can also see as a program how well we're meeting your needs. And finally, we monitor program effectiveness through a marketing survey so that we could see how best we to serve your needs. Goal 5 is marketing. And the number one marketing that we have is when you tell a colleague. Whenever I've asked, how did you find out about our program? That is the number one response, that a colleague invited them. So for those of you that have invited a friend, thank you so much. And I would encourage you to continue to invite your colleagues to join us. We continue to market through social media, postcards. This year I sent out 2,440 postcards to people in the Dallas and Houston area, trying to reach a wider base of people for our in-person workshops. And then I partner with people in the AgriLife Extension and also to get them to help share our program. And finally, marketing, I'm looking at doing things through Google Ads. So for the data-driven goals, again, they were to build community, offer needs-based workshops, deliver purposeful presentations, monitor program effectiveness, and marketing. So in the chat, if you could tell me what features of our program will be most helpful for you. And while I'm waiting for your response, I'm going to there was a question, Allison, about why not College Station. When we did the marketing survey, College Station was not one of the higher priority locations. Dallas and Houston was the higher priority locations. And so that's why we are doing Dallas and Houston this year. And Sue Ann, I'm glad that you received the postcard. Thank you for sharing that with me. So I see a lot of responses. Thank you for your responses. A lot of you put 2, offer needs-based workshops, 3, purposeful presentations, and that's our goal. Thank you. And Allison, I appreciate your feedback on the monitor program effectiveness. Thank you so much for your responses. So now that we've talked about our data-driven goals, I'm going to move on to an overview of our registration process. So registration will open in September. I will be advertising that on our website and through email. When you look at our website, and I think most of you already know how to find our website, you'll see a button that looks just like what you see on your screen. And right now it says registration coming soon. As soon as registration opens, it'll say register now, and you'll be able to click on that button and go and register. Now, the program looks different this year. We are going through a program, and the reason why we are doing this is to make it easier for you. There were some challenges with the registration process last year, and so I'm really trying to make it easier for you. If I could hit an easy button, I would. So this is what we're doing for this year. You will be required to create an account in our web portal. If you look on the screen, it says, welcome to our web portal. So when you go to register, you've clicked the button register now. You'll be seeing a screen that looks very similar to what we have here. And it'll say, are you a previous participant or are you a new participant? If you took a workshop at any time with us, then you are considered a previous participant. If you are new to our program, then you will go under new participant. Previous participants, you're going to click forgot password because you haven't even set it up. Whereas if you're a new participant, you'll need to sign up. So why a new system? The advantages of this new system are that you get to register and pay for all your workshops at the same time. If you were with us last year, the system made you register for one workshop, pay for it, and then go back and register for a second workshop and pay for it. This system will allow you to choose all your workshops together and pay at the same time. This data will be directly entered into our database. The host for this portal is the same host that I have our database with. So all the data goes directly into the database. And all the transactions will be handled by me. So if you have any trouble with registration, with payments or refunds, you can contact me directly. The demographic data will be part of your account. So when it asks questions like how many returns do you do a year, or what is your profession, all of that will be stored in your account, and you won't have to enter that information every time that you do an evaluation. So that'll make your evaluations shorter because it won't be asking you those same questions every time. And not last but not least, you'll be able to view and print out your certificates. Once you take a workshop, I have to go in and enable your certificates. Once I've validated attendance through either sign-in sheets or polling questions, I will enable your certificates, and then you'll be able to access them at any time. You won't have to contact me for a certificate. You'll be able to access them yourself. So I will be doing a registration demonstration. It'll be similar to this on Zoom, but I will also record it and post it on YouTube so that if you can't join me on this day, you'll be able to go step by step by watching the video through our YouTube channel. And our YouTube channel, there's a link right on our website, so it's easy to find. So I'm going to be hosting a registration demonstration on Wednesday, August 27th at 9 o'clock Central. And so what I'm going to be doing here is a step-by-step. I'm going to show you from two different perspectives. One will be from a previous participant and one will be from a new participant, just to show you the difference. So I'm going to walk you through that process, and then that way you can ask any questions at that time. I'm always available. As we go through this new year, you're welcome to call me, email me. I'm here for you. My encouragement to you today is to register early. Space is limited for our in-person workshops, but I also had to pre-order our books for all of the workshops. And so to make sure that you have your materials and for your space for in-person workshops, register early. There will be late fees. If you don't register by the regular registration deadline, then there will be a late fee assessed for the workshops. The late fees start at the deadline day at 7 p.m. Central Time. I didn't pick that time. That's the time set by the system. So just keep that in mind that you want to register early. If you register early, then you'll have your workshop materials in plenty of time. I will be sending out your books as soon as I receive your registration. Keep in mind that physically mailed materials take at least 2 weeks because we use medium mail. And if you have any problems with registration, you'll have a quicker response time if you register early. So once you register, you'll receive a confirmation email. When these confirmation emails come through, it'll say Tax Workshops as the sender. So when you register, and if you don't see a receipt once you finish the process, check your spam folder, but also be looking for emails that say Tax Workshops. And make sure that if you haven't done so already, to add my email as to your list of contacts so that you can be sure to receive any information that I send out. So now that we've talked a little bit about an overview of our registration process, I just want to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today's session will be posted on our YouTube channel, this information session. Again, that registration demonstration will be on our YouTube channel. And we are also going to be doing workshop previews. I'm going to be meeting with my team, and we are going to record a workshop preview. And in this preview, we will go through the agenda and we will talk a little bit about the topics that you can expect to see in our workshops. Now, all of this information will be posted on our website, but if you prefer to hear a real person talking, then you can watch these videos and watch the preview, see the agenda, and hear about the content. Also, I will be recording digital book access videos so that you know how to access your textbooks online if that's a preferred method for you. So In thinking about our learning objectives, we've introduced our team members. We explained how our program aligns to our data-driven goals and provided an overview of the registration process. So now we've come to the point where I want to address any questions. I don't see anything in the Q&A. And so, team, did you see anything that came through the chat that I missed? Because I wasn't watching it completely. Did we have any questions that I missed? Or do you have, if you have a question, I'll pause at this moment and see if you have anything for the Q&A. I'm scrolling through the chat just to make sure I didn't miss anything. So, all right. Not seeing any questions at this time. I'm going to move on then with the final part of this presentation. And that is just to remind you of my contact information. It is available on our website, but if you want to scan that QR code and put it in your phone, you're more than welcome to. My phone number is posted on there, 979-393-0888. And my email is lisa.patterson@ag.tamu.edu. And again, there's my website information. I'm happy to speak to you anytime. I love hearing from you, either by phone, by email. I try to respond within the same day because your comments, questions, they're very important to me. So, in conclusion for today, we do have an evaluation. It says on your screen to please choose one option. You can either scan the QR code and do it on your phone, or when Zoom closes, you'll see a evaluation pop up when Zoom closes. But I will also email a link to you for an evaluation for today's session. I value your feedback. I ask that you be specific. If you have things that you want to communicate with me through that evaluation, please be specific on any feedback that you provide. And you only need to do it once. So either through the QR code or when you quit out of Zoom or through the email, one evaluation is sufficient. And again, thank you so much for joining me today. It is a pleasure to work with you as we serve you better. I know that my team is excited to present to you this fall, and I know that we have some great content to go through. So thank you so much for your support and for your time this morning. We look forward to seeing you at our workshops. You're welcome, Virginia. You're welcome, Sue Ann. Thank you guys for joining us.